What up, guys? Welcome back to the channel, man. Starting my day off a little bit late on this one. We had a bunch of running around we had to do all day. But I did want to give a shout out to a family that pulled up to my house a little bit ago. Well, hours ago. It was two women and a man. Well, a woman, a man, and I believe the man's daughter. So pulled up. The man didn't speak any English at all, but I guess he watches all my videos. And the daughter let me know that he wanted to stop by and drop off a product for me to try. He said that this is the best degreaser he's ever used. I don't think he knows my relationship with Super Clean, but I most certainly appreciate it. Said he is a mechanic and he uses this degreaser, and that this stuff is better than anything else he's ever tried. So I most certainly appreciate that. That was definitely really nice. I didn't get any of their names, but if you're watching this, I appreciate it. Once again, thanks. But other than that, dude, just doing a bunch of errands today, and within those errands, I stopped and I grabbed, got it all put away, a brand spanking new battery. Hell freaking yeah, man. Love having a new battery. Bro, anytime we go to a car show or something, I'm always like last minute, like trying to finalize stuff and clean whatever car it is we're taking. I was so proud of myself Friday night that I had the Blazer 100% ready, dude. I just did the water pump, as you guys know, flushed the radiator and everything really good. I did an oil change, oil filter, checked all my tire pressure, and I spent hours cleaning this thing and like detailing the engine bay and stuff and getting all the water spots off. I was 100% ready. Got up Saturday morning and the freaking battery was dead. And I'm just like, why, you know? But anyhow, now it's got a brand new battery and I ain't gotta worry about it. Woo-wee. Shut it off, put it in gear. One of these days, I'm gonna actually hook up my e-brake cables. So I got this set of valve covers for the Blazer a long time ago. Actually, one of you guys sent these to me. Reason why I have never installed these valve covers is because I need to weld on AN bungs for a catch can. Currently, there's no PCV or whatever system on this thing at all. Like, so the vacuum line now hooked to the valve cover, I believe, is back there. That's disconnected, and I don't know. I was never able to really figure that out. I couldn't figure out where it went, and I believe we talked about it on a video, and people are telling me that it's right here or something. I'm looking and there's nowhere to plug it in. I don't know, but for the time being, there's absolutely nothing sucking the crankcase pressure out of this engine whatsoever. There's nothing venting it. I mean, that is open. I believe there's one on this valve cover too somewhere, right? That's just, I don't know. Either way, it really doesn't matter because I want to put a catch can on here. We're going to be building a lot more crankcase pressure, whether I go nitrous or turbo. So I want to get all that crankcase pressure out of there, and to do it correctly and safely, we need to put a catch can. So I did go through, it was kind of cool because I was going through some of my old shit and I found that I do have a catch can that I can use. So I had that in my parts corner. And then also there was these weld-on bungs that I had ordered a long time ago. I forget what for. Where's the other one at? I mean, how big is this box? How can you really lose something? There you go. So yeah, I have two aluminum weld-on I think these are dash 10 AN bungs. So we need to figure out exactly where I need to put these. So I have one for each side, obviously. The only thing that I'm missing to make all this work is AN line, unfortunately. And the ability to weld aluminum, right? Well, I know Braven has mentioned to you guys anytime he's making a video that he's got a guy at his work over at Hughes that doesn't mind. Like, he takes stuff in there like, hey bro, weld this up for me. He's like, I bet, you know. And you know, he had mentioned that if I get this all ready, that he could take it with him to work. So hell yeah, you know what I mean? So that's what I want to start off today doing, is figure out exactly where I need to put these, because I would imagine, you know, I believe this is the passenger side because it has the oil fill. I don't think that matters, but the oil fill is on the passenger side on the factory one, so I figured I'd keep it on the passenger side on the aftermarket one. You know, I think it sits like tilted like that, so I'd imagine I'd want this probably somewhere in the middle and up as high as possible, but I don't know if I should be putting it on this side or if that would get in the way. I don't know. That's what I want to do right now, is figure out exactly where it is I should be putting these. And we got to drill holes and stuff, and you know, basically get it ready for welding so Braven can take it with him to work tomorrow, hopefully. All right, coming out here looking at the Blazer currently. There's a lot going on right here. Eventually this is all going to get cleaned up. I would like to try to move the coil pack somewhere else, but for the time being I'm going to plan on the coil pack still being on the valve covers. So as you can see, there's no room to put an AN line anywhere on the top of the, well, on the face, I guess you would say, of the valve cover. I'm going to have to go right here, like on the side, or maybe you can consider that the top because it sits at an angle. I don't know. Either way, I'm gonna have to go on that portion of it. Also, there's harnesses. So there's a harness running to the coil packs. There's a harness running to each fuel injector. There's a fuel rail. There's just a lot going on right here. I don't think I want to bring a big dash 10 AN line all the way up in here and put it in the center like I was thinking. So I have decided what I'm going to do. Instead of going right in the middle, I'm going to actually move it to the back. And I am going to go ahead and put them on the sides right here. So basically I'm going to put one right there. Get these damn things out of the packages. Yeah, I'm going to put one there, and I'm going to put one there. That's what I'm thinking. So then they'll be further towards the back, and I just have to run the AN line from the valve cover straight to the firewall, then over to the catch can. Anyhow, I'm gonna go ahead and grab some drill bits. I need to measure this, try to get it symmetrical and all that kind of stuff. We gotta drill some holes, enough for that to plop down in there, and then that's pretty much it. It's ready. Alright, there they are, all drilled out, and I deburred them. All ready for Braven to take with him to work tomorrow. I need to order some AN line, obviously. So, anyhow, that little project's done. Moving on. Alright, do you guys know your mission? I need you to check the perimeter and make sure it's going to be safe for me to go out there, okay? You guys got to make sure that it's safe. 3, 2, 1. Check the perimeter! Is it safe? Alright, well, Braven took my valve covers with him to work. I figured now I'm going to go ahead and pick up on Braven's truck and start figuring out how to get this firewall closed up. He doesn't know I'm doing this. I'm going to try to do this as a surprise. So he's been working his ass off trying to get the tunnel built in this truck. In which, of course, huge shout out to Braven, man, because he's learning here, you know. He hasn't ever done anything like this before. If I'm being honest with you, I haven't ever done anything like this before either. I have a little bit more experience like fabricating things, working at the sign shop for so many years. Anyhow, I'd like to try to get at least some templates made up while he's at work. I wonder what these X's are for. He did tell me he's wanting to cut it more. So I wish I had my valve cover here with me. I would show you guys that the valve cover doesn't even fit on here right now. The firewall is still in the way. You can fit the driver's side on, but the passenger side doesn't. So this does need to be trimmed over a little bit more. And then from there, I don't know, I'm just gonna start brainstorming, and I gotta try to get a template made up to close all of this in. It's gonna be a lot harder than what it looks, believe me, because at the moment we want the mid plate to be outside of the vehicle, but the firewall is in front of it. So we have to, it has to come back, and leaving this outside, not inside obviously, and then we got to close all the rest of this off, and right here it's got to come up at a pretty drastic angle so that you're capable of accessing all the bell housing bolts and stuff from underneath. We are more than likely going to make a section right here on the top that's removable to help him with accessing that stuff, but I don't know. Either way, I'm gonna stop talking about it and just figure out exactly where I need to start. All right, so I got this section kind of laid out, mapped out with some tape. I use tape because it's a lot easier to make the tape make straight lines, you know what I'm saying? You just kind of keep the tape square. And I found a center point right here, and I marked the center and then measured out to make sure everything's going to be symmetrical left to right. Yeah, this is basically what it is that we need to cut out of this section. And then I'm also going to have to snip this little lip off that Braven left on here. And then this support, I'm going to see if I can't maybe cut just kind of like a portion of that and get it to fold down and then weld it right here. So then there'll still be some support right there to keep the windshield frame stiff. But for the most part, we need to cut that section out because right now he doesn't have enough room for his high rise. The Holley high ram will fit, but it will not fit if he decides to run an air to water intercooler. That will go between the manifold and it will extend it up even higher. So that's the reason why he started cutting this section, but there's still a little bit more needs to be taken out. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that knocked off right now and then kind of clean this up a little bit, and then we'll move on to how much we need to cut more on the sides. Really kind of need to get this cut finalized before I start making the tunnel portion that's going to close the firewall off, because I don't want to start making templates that's going to go from here to here if I'm going to end up cutting it back to here. You know what I'm saying? I do not think that I'm going to cut as much as Braven has marked over there, but we'll get into that right now. For the moment, we need to get this cut out really quick. And you see, stuff like this is the reason why you don't want to throw away your old cutting discs. So these were some real worn down cutting discs I could have just thrown away. But this is going to work really well for getting inside of there. It's kind of a tight little area. So having a small cutting disc is going to help me out tremendously. Save them, man. Don't throw them away. Oh, would you just look at that? It's so friggin' cute. Alright, with that all cut out, now coming inside, what Braven wants to cut out here, I think is a little bit on the extreme side. He has it marked all the way back here, in which I get that he's wanting to get rid of this hole, but I think he ought to cut on this side of it. He just needs a little bit more clearance for his damn valve cover. And wherever it is we do cut, it's going to immediately start angling in, you know what I'm saying? So he's gonna have clearance if he has to cut here. I don't know why he wants to come all the way out here. I try to talk him out of these things, but he doesn't listen to me. And then down here on the floor, I see he's wanting to come over. I think I would make this a little bit more of a gradual cut from this point and then slowly get up to there. rather than just cutting straight that way and then going up. But I also see these trying to get around his mid plate. I think personally that this mid plate needs to be broken forward, so bent forward. So you see where this line is at that he has on there? He was originally going to bend that forward or bend it back. Luckily he didn't. The head is flush on this side. On the passenger side, driver side has a gap because the heads are staggered. So I think that he ought to bend this one forward, starting about right here down to this point. My brake ain't gonna do it to bend this 1/4 inch. I think this is 1/4 inch. No, this is a little thinner. I don't know exactly what it is, but my brake isn't gonna bend this thick of steel, let alone aluminum. It wouldn't even do aluminum, let alone steel. So I think this needs to be marked like right here and right here. And then I need to take it down to the sign shop I used to work at and see if they'll let me bend it. This side is going to end up being a little bit different. Because of the staggered heads, we can bend it a little bit sooner up here. But yeah, that would make a lot more room. So imagine at that line right there, if we were to just cut that metal off, how much room that would give us. But rather than cut it, bend it forward so it still has the strength, you know what I'm saying? That'll actually add more strength by bending it, you know. Anyhow, dude, I'm kind of at a loss exactly what to do inside of here without having that bent. I think I'm going to just go ahead and do a little bit of a cut, not as much as he is wanting, and then start messing with making a template and see where it is we end up. Sometimes it's hard to really know exactly what to do until you start making a template, and then things just kind of start falling into place and you can kind of visually see the direction it's going, you know. Yeah, more cutty. I'm gonna trim this up a little bit. Definitely not gonna go as wide as Braven wants it. I'm gonna probably come in here somewhere, make it match on both sides. And then we'll move on from there, whatever that is. All right, so this is what I've got. Starting down here where he's already cut, he did have it marked right there to just kind of knock it over and bring it up. What I'm gonna do is start here, gradually come up to the distance that he had marked. Up to this point, the area that I'm taking out right here is just going to be the thickness of this tape. So it's just, there's a little bit more girth here. We're going to follow the top of that tape. And then this line right here, where he had it marked all the way the hell over here, and then to go straight across, I am just going to start right here where we've already cut, and then go at an angle down to about this point. So instead of making that a straight vertical cut, it's going to go at kind of an angle, you know what I'm saying, in which I think is going to make it look a lot more presentable as well. And then we're not taking nearly as much material away. And this hole right here, I know he's wanting to get rid of that. We can just literally patch over that and just make a patch and weld it up, you know what I'm saying. I'm going to go ahead and, you know what, before I cut this, I'm going to get that side marked out, and then we'll cut both sides at the same time. Alright, I think we are officially ready to start templating. I'm going to start off using tape to just kind of get a rough idea. I might end up doing the whole thing out of tape and then peeling it off and then transferring that to cardboard. I don't know yet. But we don't have a very good assortment of cardboard right now. I do not think that this is going to be far enough back right here. So basically going from this edge up to here, I think is going to be too drastic. I'm not sure yet. I might end up scooting it back some, depends. But that's what the tape is for. I'm going to start laying it out with tape and just get kind of a visual of what it's going to look like. And then we'll figure it out from there. not coming out too shabby, man. Just getting it started. So that's the method. Just one piece at a time. Just stretching the tape. You have to make sure to keep the tape nice and flat. You know what I'm saying? Keep it nice and taut and tight. And yeah, just keep going all the way along. Eventually get this thing completely closed off. And when we do, I'm going to have to take a Sharpie and trace right along that edge there, and then we'll trace along this edge here also, then try to peel the whole thing up as one piece, of course. And at that point you can just lay the tape out flat onto whatever it is that you want to make a template out of. Realistically, I could just go straight to metal with that and just kind of oversize a little bit and then just trim it and as we fit it. But another thing that I need to do whenever we have this all taped up, before I peel it, there's straight lines here. So from here to here is a straight line, and then from this point to this point is a straight line, and then that point to this point is a straight line, and so on. You know what I mean? From here to here is a straight line. All the cuts basically I've made, they're all straight line, straight line, straight line. I have to mark those because those are going to be the points where it is we have to bend later. Whenever we get this transferred to metal and it's a flat sheet, we got to take it to the bender and bend all those points. Anyhow, I'm going to keep on going. Hopefully I don't run out of tape. Of course, whenever we make it out of metal, we need to try to probably oversize just a hair, man, just a little bit, just to allow for some error in places. Of course, there's going to be a lot of, you know, push it and tack it and push and tack and whatever. It's still going to be a pain in the ass. But what I'm going to do now is go around and I'm just going to mark the very edge with a Sharpie so I know what the size is of the material. So all that tape that is sticking out over the edge, we don't need any of that. What we need is the actual shape of the metal that we're trying to replace. So I need to go around this entire edge and make sure that I'm leaving a nice good mark with my Sharpie. Alright, got the whole thing all outlined, and I marked all the areas where I'm going to need to do my bends. I made a mistake right there, so I had to kind of scribble one out, but I got it right. Coming over here on the other side, once again, I have the sun is just hitting just right where you can't really see shit. But I have all of the spots marked where we have to make a bend. Now, of course, it's going to take a lot of back and forth figuring out exactly how much to bend and all that. But anyhow, another thing that I think would probably be a really good idea is to make this in multiple pieces, probably 3 pieces, as in make the centerpiece and then make these 2 pieces on each end and then just cut them to where they overlap to where we can weld them together. I am also going to run the idea past Braven of using like a 1/4 inch round rod and cutting round rod to all these sections where we have to butt sheet metal up to sheet metal and tacking in the round rod so that we can weld on both sides, and that will leave us enough material that on the other side we can grind it and make it look just a lot cleaner. You know what I mean? You can have a nice beveled edge right here, but we need to build up material right there. And if we use like a 1/4 inch round rod, I have some right here, so something like this across all the seams, so that then you are basically welding the sheet metal to this and you have a little bit more material there, so you don't have to worry about blowing through and making holes, and it'll obviously strengthen it quite a bit, and then like I said, give you enough material that on the other side we can grind it and make it look all nice and clean. I know on this side he's wanting to do seam sealer over the whole thing to make sure it's nice and sealed. His idea, his plan with this is to try to have the cab sealed up really well to the point that whenever he does like a real like smoky burnout, it's not completely filling the cab up, you know. Another thing that I would really like to see him do, in which I'm gonna make sure he does, is to completely seal this firewall. So if you ever have an accident, or let's say a fuel line burst, hopefully not obviously, but if you ever were to have like a fuel line burst and the engine bay for any reason was to burst into flames, you don't want things to be able to make it through your firewall, you know what I'm saying? So we have to make sure this firewall is nice and sealed up, to obviously for safety reasons. Now I'm gonna go ahead and stop here. Braven is just about off of work. My next step is I need to peel all of that off of there and then decide whether I want to then make a cardboard template, or if I just want to go straight to cutting it out of steel. I don't think that this piece is going to be big enough. It might be, who knows, but I'm going to wait till Braven gets here. It is his truck. I want to make sure that he's happy with it before I really make another step forward, because who knows, you know, like I know he wanted to cut this side over a lot more, as you guys seen from his markings. I don't think that it needs it, but who knows, maybe there's a reason, another reason why he was wanting to do that I'm overlooking. He should be home soon, and then we'll show it to him and see what he thinks. Oh, my valve covers! Did he weld them? Huh? Did he weld them?
I booger welded them on.
Ooh, dang, son! Hell yeah!
He said the black would come off and just
yeah, I ain't worried about it. I'm probably gonna end up painting these eventually. Cause you know me and shiny stuff. Bro, that's legit.
He welded a little bit inside too.
Did
like
it?
a half moon.
Oh, yeah. Cause I knew that backside was gonna be a pain in the ass to get to. But this should be fine. It's not under pressure. It's just to relieve pressure, you know?
Exactly. Yes, sir. Should be good.
Yes, ma'am. I did some work to your truck today.
Did you?
Yes, I did. I need your approval.
Do I believe you? Okay.
Why wouldn't you believe me? The hell? I just didn't want to go any further because I wanted you to approve it, you know. But, yeah. I think it actually came out pretty sick.
Yeah, I like it.
You like it?
I like it.
You know, the reason why, because I knew that you wanted to cut way over here,
No,
but
I haven't decided.
I wasn't sure.
That was just like a, that was honestly.
But I
just
did
a rough
cut.
part.
I don't know if
It
you could
looks
tell.
like, I can tell.
So
you
had this right here, so I just kind of gradually started from here and gradually came out wider, and then I took a tape width off of here, and then this cut was just straight up.
Yeah.
So then I just cut it at an angle.
And it's still pretty symmetrical.
Yeah, and I think it's gonna give you enough room for valve covers and stuff now.
Oh yeah, and I'll be able to.
Yeah, and I figured worst case scenario, we could even build this, and if you do have problems like clearance with your valve cover right here, we could cut a section out and create a dip.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There. Yeah, just put like a little dimple in it. But
and then I'll just have to. I'm gonna match this angle right here, cut out of here, and then probably.
Yeah, and you can't really tell because the tape's all over it, but I rounded these little pieces here.
Yeah, I was thinking about I want to block this section off so you can't see back in there.
Yeah.
And
that would be nice to kind of
clean it up.
Make it look a little cleaner. Yeah, it's either that or take it the rest of the way off, one or the other, but
yeah, honestly, yeah. I was kind of thinking about taking the rest of the way off so I'll have a shelf to like put my coil packs and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. But yeah, it came out pretty good, dude.
Yeah, I like it.
I marked all the areas on the tape where we got to bend. Now, I would recommend doing 3 pieces. Doing this up to here, 1 piece. And doing the center a piece and doing that a third piece.
That's the plan. Yeah. I told the last video, basically, I wanted to separate it into 4 sections. Tunnel being 1, 2, and then being the side. Oh, no, 2, and then 3 being the sides, and then 4 would be the center.
Yeah.
So Originally, I was planning on doing the tunnel in one piece, but because of brick size, I was like, okay, I guess I'm going into 2 pieces.
Yeah, another thing that I was thinking about doing, that recommending to you, is using a 1/4-inch round rod right here on all of these intersections where the sheet metal meet up with each other. So I have some in here. So you know how all of those cuts are basically straight cuts?
Yeah.
For each one of them, if you were to cut a section of this off, so let's say you take this measurement, this is a straight cut from here to here. Take that measurement, cut a piece of round rod. If you have to kind of curve it and bend it into there, but then you could tack it on both sides, and then you can run a bead on both sides. You can weld on both sides.
Yeah,
so then
have all those bars on the inside, but then it'll stiffen it up.
But then it'll not only stiffen it, but then you'll be able to get a better penetrating weld. Instead of sheet metal to sheet metal, you're actually welding sheet metal to that 1/4-inch rod.
Yeah.
But then that'll also give you enough material that over here on the front side, we can grind it and give it a little bevel right on the edge. Because then that will be behind it.
To have a round.
Yeah, so whenever we clean it up and grind this, you'll be able to actually take material away because you'll have that 1/4-inch round rod behind it. Watch yourself. This thing's a little dangerous right now. That one piece of tape hanging down.
It's bothering me.
Yeah, I know. It was driving me nuts too.
It's just not sticky down there.
Yeah.
No, I freaking love it. That's perfect.
I don't know if you have enough material either.
No, so. I gotta get some more. I think I have enough material to do the side sections.
Yeah.
But that's about it. I was gonna stop and actually get them place the other order for the other one, the other sheet.
Oh, you haven't ordered it yet?
No.
Damn. Alright, it is the next day and Braven is now back at work. He liked the firewall, so that's good. We'll go ahead and move forward on that. But first, I just want to mention that I ordered the -10 AN line that I need. Anyhow, got the bungs welded on, but I'm getting a different catch can. Where is it at? Oh. So my idea to run this, it's gonna be on the blazer in the garage now, and I should open it up and show you. But anyhow, I plan on running it on the left side, on the passenger side of the firewall, and to do that, like one AN line can come and go straight into this catch can, but then the other one is gonna have to have like one of those 90s or something, or 180 actually. I don't know. It's gonna look funky. You know what I'm saying? So I ordered a catch can that has both bungs right here in the front, so I could just run 90s straight out of it, and then they'll look cleaner. And it's not chrome. I ordered a black one, so I won't have to paint it. But anyhow, moving on with Braven's truck. So he ended up liking the firewall, so we're gonna go ahead and pop this template off of here. What I was going to do was try to peel the tape and just take the whole thing off, but I think it's probably going to be a lot easier for me to take a razor blade or an X-Acto knife, to be exact, and just cut right along the edge and just carefully cut that out all the way around and then get it out of there. Then we just peel all the excess off and throw it away. There it is, boys. That is the shape of his firewall. Now, all laid out flat. Whenever you take it off, then you see that it'll actually lay out flat into a flat piece. Now we can go through and cut this out, and then the hard part is going to be to bend the metal to match what it is we have the tape doing. But what I am going to do to make our life a little bit easier is I'm going to do this in 3 pieces. So we're going to have the center section, and then we're going to have a piece on each end. So I'm going to go ahead and cut these off right at the line where they're supposed to be. Well, guys, that is about as far as I'm going to be able to get today. Braven actually ordered more material. I have this piece left, and it is just slightly too small to even make one of the two pieces we still need to make. But I think I got the hardest part done. The center section, I have to say, must be the most difficult, because trying to follow all those damn shapes and get it as tight as I am surprised that I got it. At this point, I kind of need to start welding, dude. So really, I need to pull that piece back out, get everything ground, like get all the paint ground off and get it ready for welding. The engine is also kind of in my way. It's really hard to get this to contour to some of these shapes if you can't, you know, access it to kind of whack at it. Braven ordered material. I think it's going to be here today. He's going to pick it up whenever he gets off work. Other than that, like I said, the engine and transmission needs to come out of the way so that can actually get this thing fitted in there really nice and start welding it. Still need to make these two pieces, but I mean, it's going pretty well. And no worries, man. After we weld all that in, we're going to get this all tacked in as well. We're going to take the cab back off. And the plan is to stand this thing up on the back and then go through and add some more support in it, like to kind of stiffen it, you know, in the areas where Braven took, like he cut straight through this support that was once going all the way over. And I think that's it. There might have been another one in the rear, but we are going to do either, I don't know, like a 1/4 inch flat bar, you know, cut some pieces and make a new cross member section that crosses over and stiffens that. Probably put some gussets in there as well. We're gonna go through and stiffen everything up, you know what I'm saying? He's also got to figure out exactly where he's gonna put a drive shaft loop underneath the truck. So yeah, dude, this has been fun. If I have to tell a lie, this has been fun. I'm gonna go ahead and end the video here. I'm gonna pick up on tomorrow's video. I need to get to work on that, and it's going to be something to do with the Blazer. I'm going to be pulling one of the many parts that I have sitting in my closet out and start installing on this damn thing. And once again, I ordered a new catch can and A-line and everything so that we can run the valve covers and get the catch can ran. So definitely excited about that. Anyhow, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please do smash the like button for me. And if you didn't, maybe you just need to lower your standards a little bit and